right, good afternoon. Welcome everyone. Yay, we're back. Welcome everyone to our 5,482nd meeting of the Oakland Rotary Club. I am Tom Limon, president of our club. We were founded in 1908 and we're the third oldest Rotary Club in the world with more than 36,000 Rotary Clubs worldwide in over 200 countries. Shh, thank you. Our club represents a diverse membership of 300 business, professional, and community leaders united to serve our local and international communities through a commitment to service above self. If all of you could help me read off the Rotary Vision Statement. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and in ourselves. All right, I'd like to welcome our friends on Zoom. Let's see who's on Zoom today. Welcome, friends. All right, we'll come back to you. Ed Jellin, is Ed Jellin in the room?
He is.
All right, welcome, Ed, and congratulations on your award this past
Thank you very much, yeah. And you're probably going to ask me whether we have any visiting Rotarians, and I'm probably going to say I haven't the slightest idea. Do we have any visiting Rotarians in the room? If so, please make yourself known so we can introduce you. President Tom, I struck out. No visiting Rotarians.
All right, Ed. We'll keep you around for a little bit longer, Ed.
Thank you.
All right. Do we have any guests today? And if you did bring a guest, if you could introduce yourself and your affiliation or title, and then introduce your guest. Robert Rayburn.
Testing. Hi, my name is Robert Rayburn, and I'm proud to be a member of this group since probably 2013. I've brought a man who I just met yesterday as he was leaving the Fruitvale BART station with a box full of fortune cookies to take to the All Chambers mixer. Isaac Isfahan owns the Oakland Fortune Company. Isaac, please stand up.
Welcome, Isaac. Good to see you again. All right, Steve.
Hi, everybody. Steve Nichols, retired. Boy, that sounds good, doesn't it? My son-in-law, Paul Oliphant, is here today. He's a speech therapist in the Oakland Unified School District, but he has another claim to fame, which is he is Mr. Elephant. So if you have young kids or grandchildren, check out Mr. Elephant. He'll make the kids smile.
All right, that's not Stomper, right? It's a different Mr. Elephant? All right, welcome today. Honorable Kevin Jenkins.
Kevin Jenkins, Oakland City Council member, and it's my pleasure to introduce my good friend, Ladetta Woke, who is a community affairs specialist, and she connects government with the community, nonprofit with the community, banking with the community, really a true community focus, and so love to have her out today.
All right, welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Victor Flores, new Red Badge member. Today I bring my fiance and future Rotarian, Megan Imperial. She is the current campaign manager for Jesse Arreguin, has worked for 7 years in San Francisco for supervisors, mayors, and was the policy committee chair for the San Francisco Women's Political Committee.
All right, welcome, Megan. Okay, I think we have one up here and then one over here. Thank you, Fred.
Hi, thank you. Hi, my name is Marie Sescon. I work at Fast Signs as an account rep, and today I brought my fiance, Chris Gada. We work at Fast Signs together.
All right, welcome. And then we have one more guest, Fred Morse. We have one more guest, Mr. Chuck Johnson. Chuck, I wasn't prepared to introduce you. Would you mind just saying a couple of words? Oh, okay, David Stein. There we go.
President Tom, you should be prepared to introduce your guest. It's my pleasure to introduce Tom's guest, who I've had a great time talking with, as has CJ, Chuck Johnson. He's worked many years with Soul Beat. He's doing a documentary right now on Oakland Soul Beat TV. Fascinating guy. Spend some time and talk with him. Chuck Johnson.
All right, thank you. And if I'm not mistaken, Chuck Johnson is also working under District 7 Treva Reed as a cultural strategist.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a cultural strategist with District 7. I look forward to meeting you all.
And then Mr. Preston Pinckney, if we can get you up here. All right, thank you, Fred. Thank you to our guests for coming today, and we have exciting speakers waiting for you. Preston Pinckney will deliver our thought for the day.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and Honorable President Tom Lamone. I know we're all concerned about the state of our beloved city of Oakland, so today let's draw inspiration from the words of the legendary Bobby Jones, who said, "Golf is the closest game that we call life. You get bad breaks from good shots, you get good breaks from bad shots, but you have to play the ball where it lies." Our Oakland City, much like golf, presents us with challenges and opportunities, successes and setbacks. We can't always control the circumstances we encounter, but we control how we respond. Just as in golf, we must adapt to the situation, adjust our strategy, and keep moving forward. Remember, it's not about the perfect shot every time, but about resilience, determination, and the willingness to keep playing despite the obstacles. So let's embrace Oakland's fairways and roughs with the same spirit as we do on the golf course. Keep swinging, keep aiming, and above all, keep playing the ball where it lies. Have a wonderful day.
It's really good to see Preston, and Preston will be back up here in Dr. Joel Parrott on microphone. Oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm totally mistaken. Can we all just sing happy birthday real quick? All right, here we go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear May birthdays. Happy birthday to you. All right. All right, I think Dr. Joel Parrott would like to make an announcement. Can we get him a microphone?
Oh, great. Okay, thank you, President Tom. Yes, I'd like to announce that on April 25th, my second grandchild was born. And there she is. She's a bit of a princess. She waited 2 weeks beyond her due date to arrive, and so as a result, she was 10 pounds, 11 ounces. And doing great, so thank you. So, President Tom, ring the bell.
All right, Joel. All right, congratulations, congratulations. Okay, President Pinckney, can we get you back up here? So on your tables, we have upcoming events, and Preston's going to talk about an upcoming event at his new facility here in downtown Oakland.
All right, good to see everybody again. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll be hosting a mixer, the Rotary Mixer, at Primetime Golf, indoor golf training and entertainment facility in downtown Oakland at 306 12th Street. We have the most technologically advanced facility in the Bay Area with 2 golf zone simulators and a Zen green and a Zen stage putting green. And it's on hydraulics, so whatever lie you want, we could control it, and you can practice your shots. So that's going to be on May 16th from 5 to 7:30 p.m. So we're encouraging you all to come out, and it's a great place for beginners, it's a great place for novices, and it's a great place for those that want to really hone in your skills, because we have video swing replay, our floor moves to emulate the lies, and we have over 200 of the top golf courses in the world. So we're looking forward to you on May 16th, 5 to 7:30 at Primetime Golf.
So, all right, let's give him a hand. Thank you, Preston, for hosting. Okay. So, Preston, since this is a business development mixer, you promote your business, right? Correct. So, what about kids? Do you do anything for kids still? I know you used to run ACE.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we have a lot of opportunities for our youth. We have after-school programs from 5 to 6 p.m. We also have summer programs available. We're doing full-day summer camps from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you want your kids in a safe environment, a loving environment, and a place to groom their golf game, and not just their golf game, but their well-being on and off the course, because we're all about life skills and social-emotional development. Join our programs, spread the word, let us know if you have questions. You could contact me, and I'll be happy to get you the information. So, anything else you want me to talk about? Because I could talk all day. All right, thanks again, Tom. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you, Preston. Thank you. Allison Bliss, there's an upcoming volunteer service day, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. So we have a service day at the Alameda County Community Food Bank on 2 days after Preston's wonderful event. If you haven't been to Primetime Golf, it's really fun. So on Saturday, May 18th, how many have been to the food bank for a service day? It's fun, isn't it? It's a great opportunity, especially for our newer members, to do some bonding with the rest of the club. So it's from 8:30 in the morning till 11:30, Saturday, May 18th. It's out near the airport, and our website, if you go to the calendar, there's a link there where you can register. You have to register to be able to go. It's very easy work. We're just packing food into boxes mostly. So I hope to see you there. Thank you. We need 30 volunteers. You know how many are registered right now? 2. So please sign up. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Allison. Let's give her a hand. Okay, Mr. Harold Lowe will share about this past weekend's Enterprise Institute.
Tom, how much time do I have?
Like 2 minutes.
All right. I will say this before we even start. I want to thank all the Rotarians who helped this year to make this happen. Rotarians who are on the Enterprise Institute committee, could you please stand? For those of you that are online, show your faces to everybody. Volunteer. Anybody who was there at the event, thank you. I always tell people I think leadership is what happens when no one's watching. And we witnessed a lot of leaders there at camp last weekend. I don't have a lot of time to talk about what I wanted to tell you, but I will say this, that we've spent a lot of time talking about diversity in our group. Diversity isn't just age and gender or orientation. It really is kind of economic diversity, social diversity in Oakland. And we've been missing the mark on that for a while. We've been doing this for over 40 years, and it wasn't until last year I thought, wait a minute, maybe some of these kids aren't coming to camp because they can't afford to get to camp. So I made sure with the committee that we bought sleeping bags, and we bought toiletries, and we brought things that they could have to be at camp. We need to expand what we think of in terms of diversity, because a kid's sitting there in the audience, and we say, you can come to camp. And they're saying, I have no idea what that looks like. We need to expand what diversity looks like, because I see a lot of you here with kids that don't show up to camp. We need to show that it's not for them, it's for us as well. And last year we had about 11 students use sleeping bags and 1 Rotarian. This year we had 16 people request them. So the issue is not going away, but we need to make sure that you folks are participating and helping us. Last but not least, this was a full circle experience for me. Many of you have heard me brag about how I joined Rotary because I was a participant 30, almost 40 years ago. And one of the reasons why I did that was because of people like you. And I've never forgot Jack McAvoy, Eddie Snow, Art Heck, all these other people who were, when I was a kid, I was 16, and I said, I'm gonna be one of them when I grow up. And so that's why it was full circle for me, because my last year in terms of running the camp and my son's last year participating in camp. And I was the first peer counselor, and we lost all these kids from 3 schools that didn't show up because of prom. So my son was ultimately the only peer counselor until we were able to recruit kids. So it was a full circle moment for me. I thank you all. I think we really need to make sure that we're engaged in the future with this. Make sure that your kids show up. It really is important for them to get that experience of a lifetime. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Jack. Oh, wait, can we get Jack a microphone? I'm sorry.
Just so everybody knows, Harold was on the losing end of the beach football team when the Rotarians kicked their butts.
Okay, all right. Is that a bell ring, Jack? No. Jack. Or Brad? Oh, okay. All right, Brad Draper, or I'm sorry, yeah. All right,
Yeah,
Sean Kellum.
I'd like to ring the bell for Harold also. He did a fantastic job organizing, and I had a great experience there. So bell ringer for Harold and everybody.
All right. And it's Rick Draper. All right. Sean Kellum. Any other bell rings? Okay, thank you. And then okay, Eric Harris.
Oh, Michael.
Yeah, I'm ringing the bell for the golf. I'm a golfer. I think it's a great program that they said, so I'll be participating, but also ringing the bell for that.
Okay. Eric Harris. And Rick, I grew up with a Brad Draper, so I'm sorry. That's my bad. And then on your tables, you'll see a QR code below the list of events, and that's a very cool video recap of the Enterprise Weekend that Marie Sescon did. If you want to take out your phones, take a quick look at it. It's this brand new app called Instagram. It's really interesting. So, go ahead. Don't be shy. Take out your phones. Take a look at it. I'll wait. Okay, if anyone's having trouble with it, I'll be happy to share my screen with you a little later. All right, thank you, Marie, for doing that. I thought that video was awesome. You got to teach me how to do it seriously, all right? I might look like I should know how to put together a video like that, but I really don't. So, moving on with the program. Last week we had an off-site meeting in downtown Oakland at the Remember Them statue sculpture park next to the Fox Theater, and we also toured the Oakland School for the Arts. I'd like to thank Jack McAvoy for coordinating artist Mario Kyoto. So thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. And then we also got a sort of behind the scenes look of Oakland School for the Arts. I'd like to thank everyone who came and toured with us, but you know, we saw them practicing, rehearsing for their big show this past Monday. If anyone went to the show, you raise your hand? All right. Was it good?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous. All right, so that was really special. They are looking for board members, so if you are interested in the arts and supporting youth, please let me know, and I can introduce you to some of the leaders over at Oakland School for the Arts. We have a couple of more off-site meetings planned for my year, and so the next one is, I sort of canceled the brown bag lunch, and instead we are doing a joint meeting with the Lake Merritt Breakfast Club. All right, and so that will happen on Thursday, May 23rd at 7 in the morning. The meeting starts at 7:30. We are asking, if you are interested in going to this meeting, we would appreciate it if you could register on Eventbrite and pay. If you want breakfast, it's $20. You can pay it through our website, and we'll send them a list, just so we don't surprise them with 30 people, and you know, we want to make sure they have a decent head count to go. The breakfast is optional, so if you just want to show up, just please register and choose the no breakfast option. Also, June 6th, we will be having our last off-site at the Oakland Zoo. And so I'd like to thank Michael Bruck for helping smooth this one over. So this is limited to 100 people, and I'm thinking we will get 100 people there. We invite your kids, grandkids, to come with us and tour the California exhibit at the top of the gondola. So we will be broken up into groups of 10. And if you have a group of 10, we'll be checking in, but let us know, and we will organize you in that group. Our friends at the Oakland Roots, we are doing a Rotary Night. This is a district-wide event. It's going to be promoted more, but there are 2 ticket options. It's a double header with the Oakland Soul and Oakland Roots. So the Mosaic section is really the center section, excellent seats. The general admission is also good, but you know, the premium seats are the Mosaic section, and that's a discounted rate. So be sure to check out our Eventbrite page, and on your table there's a link to it. And we will get started with our speakers. So today we have 2 speakers representing the Oakland Spiders and the Oakland Ballers. I will introduce both members right now. But Tim Koida was born in Berkeley and is a 4th generation Koida in Berkeley and Oakland. After college and a brief stint in Washington, D.C., working in the policy world and as a grad student, he returned to the Bay Area and has spent the last 12 years in the startup world, and now with the Oakland Ballers. So let's give Tim a big Oakland Rotary welcome. Okay, and this other person here, this should be no stranger to any of us. This is our buddy, Jack and Rotarian, Jackson Stearns. He grew up in Oakland. Go Titans, all right? David Stein, right? You Titan? All right, so there we go, that's what I was looking for. For the past over 15 years, Jackson has built his career in youth development and community work through the YMCA of the East Bay and the recreation departments of Orinda, Oakland, and Piedmont. Along the way, he fell in love with Ultimate Frisbee, and over the past 4 years, he has been one of the main driving forces behind the Oakland Spiders professional Ultimate Frisbee team. So let's give Jackson a big warm welcome. Thank you. Okay. All right, and we will start with Tim.
All right. All right, there they are. Well, I am very grateful to be here. This is my first time at a Rotary meeting, and I think this is what a healthy community, healthy society looks like. I'm a big believer in community organizations like this, and I was doing some research about Rotary. I have some friends who are Rotarians. What I didn't realize was that Oakland is the 3rd oldest in the world. Third oldest. Yes, and then I was reading that one of the first service projects that this chapter did was down at on the Bay Shore kind of clearing land for reclamation for the forthcoming 16th Street train station. And of course, we're going to be playing our season at Raimondi Park. I'll show you pictures of updates there, but right across the street, so the little historical tie there between the Ballers and the Oakland Rotary. Recently our coaching staff was on a podcast, and they were asked what their favorite baseball movie was, and all of them being seasoned baseball players, they all agreed that it was Bull Durham. I don't know if you remember Bull Durham, but... And in fact, all three of our coaches have played in that stadium. But for me, I'm not a baseball player. I'm a hopeless romantic and storyteller, and so for me, it's Moneyball. And for those of you who know the film, you know Robert Redford. What's that other guy's name? Brad Pitt. Golly. I'm only 42. But his character playing Billy Bean at the end there's that scene where the kind of intimate scene, they're looking at footage of this kid who, big boy with a big bat, and Brad Pitt says, how can you not be romantic about baseball? And that's really what's driving the front office, the founding team of this organization is, how can you not be romantic about baseball? And I guarantee you, if any of you hate baseball, you can come to a baseball game and you can see the clean lines on the field, and you can see the turf, and you can look at the fresh press uniforms, and you can look at the silhouettes of the bugs and the lights, and you'll get it. How can you not be romantic about baseball? So when the announcement was made last year that the A's would leave Oakland, a group of us kind of had the same reaction. How do we keep baseball in Oakland? And the Oakland Ballers was our ultimate idea. So the Oakland Ballers, the whole purpose of this, if it was just about baseball, it'd be a lot of fun. As you guys represent, this is more than baseball. This is more than the organization. This is about the community. This is about keeping something in Oakland, like the Spiders, like the Roots, these other organizations, kind of community-led sports organizations. It's about giving the community something to cheer for and making sure that that lasts. Next. And this embodies that, right? This is the real reason we're doing it. We have the best fans in the world here in Oakland, and some of you may have attended the Fans Fest back in February. I don't know if any of you guys were there, but down in Jack London Square. Paul, yes, and it's great. I'm going to talk to you after this. We've exchanged on Instagram, that new app that Tom was talking about. And nice to put a face to the name. But we have the best fans, not just in baseball. We have the best fans. We have the best community. And, there's a reason why, for those of you who've attended Oakland sporting events over the years, there's a reason why the chant is not "Let's Go," name of the team. It's "Let's Go Oakland." That's genuine. And one of the most overwhelming things for me and the rest of the guys in the front office is how genuine that spirit is. Again, you could be a diehard baseball fan. You could just be a fan of the community. Spirit's the same, and it's been really humbling. Go ahead, advance. So we play in the Pioneer League. The Pioneer League is about an 80-year-old league. I was telling some of you guys before we started that back in 2020, the Major League draft went from 40 rounds to 20 rounds. And so the Pioneer League is one of the independent leagues in professional baseball. We're Major League partnered, but we're not affiliated. But we become a really essential pipeline to fill the gap of those extra 20 rounds that used to be there. So for instance, we just signed a kid, Danny Kerwin, one of our right-hand pitchers, just sold him to the Red Sox. And so the indie leagues remain a very, very important pipeline for Major League Baseball. Pioneer League, historically, if we could go back really quick. Pioneer League historically has been here in the Mountain West, so Utah, Idaho, Montana, Colorado. We are starting the first 2 baseball clubs in California. The idea is that it'll be a 6-team California division in time. So we've got the Oakland Ballers, and then we've got our built-in rival, if you will, up the street in Davis, the Yolo High Wheelers. So we'll be playing them a lot this season. And the idea is they're tearing up the railroad tracks right now over on 18th, 20th, over there, right by the Raimondi. So we've got some old railway ties spikes, and we've created a little cup. It's going to be the Capital Corridor Cup between the Ballers and the High Wheelers. Okay, next. So these are the jerseys. Like the Spiders, like the Roots, we're partnered with Oaklandish on our merchandise, and a lot of you know Angela and Higgins over there, and they do a great job, and obviously very committed to the community. It's important for us to work with local organizations and have the quality of work that they do. The merchandise has been going well. I see a gentleman up here in front with our dad hat on there, and he's got the Oakland Spiders shirt on. This guy came ready. It's fantastic. Yes! Man, I almost rang the bell, but I realized that's probably sacrilegious. But these are the jerseys we're going to take to the field with. We've got our home cream, and then the away green, and then our alternate gold. Our jersey sponsors are BART and then AAA of Northern California. Okay, next. So, you know, I think any organization's greatest asset are their people. And if they're not, probably something wrong. But we're really proud of our baseball staff. First call I made when I joined Paul Friedman and Brian Carmel, the principal founders, was to my buddy Don. Don Wakamatsu he's a Bay Area native, grew up in Hayward Aggie, 30 years coaching in Major League Baseball, first Asian American manager in Major League Baseball when he took the reins in Seattle. Fellow half Japanese brother, so we think on the same level, but Don has put together a tremendous staff for us. Our manager is Micah Franklin, went to Washington High School over in San Francisco, played a few years in the bigs, and then has been a hitting coach for people like Cole Tucker and Cody Bellinger, some of these big guys, as well as coaching a little bit in minor league. And then JT Snow, some of you remember him. He was one of my faves when I was in high school and college, 6-time Golden Glove winner, and just an absolute gentleman, great guy. Aaron Miles won a series with the Cardinals, played with the Dodgers out of Brentwood. Great guy, the kind of guy you want in your dugout. And then Jim Dedrick has been a scout, pitching scout for the last 20 years in Major League Baseball. So great staff, really excited to have them on board. They're basically all doing this for free, just out of the goodness of their hearts. They all want to keep baseball here in Oakland. They're very committed to that idea. Yeah, so the Love Fest just gets deeper and deeper. That's next. This is not a complete list. We're building a really impressive roster. I'm really impressed with our offense, and I'm talking like I know anything about baseball, like I can run a baseball team. I'm on the business side, but you learn as you go, and you start picking up words and phrases. You listen to the coaches, hear what they say, and you repeat it and act like you know what you're talking about. I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just a fan. One of the significant pickups, we had an open tryout in Oakland back at the beginning of April, and we signed Kelsey Whitmore, who's the first female pitcher in professional baseball. And she's great. You know, being half Asian, I'm almost just as proud of her for being half Filipino as I am being a woman in baseball. She's awesome. We just talk about food when we talk. It's great. And then a lot of California kids on this roster. A lot of kids who are playing, you know, elsewhere in different leagues, and we're very happy to come home. So we're excited about the baseball product we're going to put on the field. Yeah, next. So the brand of baseball that we want to put in, and please excuse the hubris here. I will go through this analogy really quick. Some of you are probably familiar with the Savannah Bananas. The way we kind of think about it is, you know, the Harlem Globetrotters are to the Showtime Lakers in terms of what the Globetrotters did in innovating the game of basketball, as the Savannah Bananas are to us. So we want to take a lot of that fan-centric innovation that the Bananas have been doing the last few years and put that in a competitive league, and kind of you know, up the level of fan participation and excitement for the game. Yeah, next. So here, you guys can probably see exactly what this is. I'm sure it's not great resolution. But anyway, that little speck of green in the middle there, that's kind of just giving you geographical context of where we'll be playing. That's Raimondi Park. How many of you know Raimondi Park? Great, yeah. So we've committed $1.6 million in improvements to the park in partnership with the City of Oakland. It remains a City of Oakland park. We just kind of become stewards. In this first year, we're putting in 4,000 temporary seats for the first season, and hopefully make it our permanent home, but it remains a city park. And so we're kind of fronting all that money to kind of keep that in. Prep baseball can continue to play there in the off season, et cetera. So we're excited about it. That gift that's going to be as a gift in place. And if any of you are interested in participating in that, we're still raising money around that. But yeah, let's go next here. So this is kind of what it'll look like at maturity. We're getting there. The multicolored warehouses on the north end there, that's where we'll have our clubhouse, and then there will be covered parking in there as well. We'll have about 1,000 parking spaces available, paid parking spaces available. And then maybe on the corner of 20th and Campbell there, we might do something with those offices as well. But you see the field there, the stands will be along the third baseline, first baseline, and then around the back there. Yeah, next. This is just some more views there. I like looking at these pictures because it's been, this became a possibility in January. That's when the city of Oakland presented this to us. So we've been moving very, very quickly, and I don't sleep very much. But this is what it will look like. Right now, they're still putting in the sod, still putting in the piping and the irrigation. We're putting in the video board, and that video board will also be accessible to the city of Oakland, so we do movie nights there or whatever. Let's go next. Another view. We're redoing the playground here on the southwest side, putting in more trees along the perimeter in the outfield. Yeah, next. Next. Yeah, and we'll do, for the first year, Athletic Club of Oakland is kind of handling our concessions, and then we're going to have an aggregation of different food trucks that will provide concessions, so it'll be a nice kind of smattering of the community culinary scene. And then next. And then I promise you won't look like AI-generated people when you come. But and then this was last week, so they're putting in the sod there, and we're working with a company called In Production. They're used to putting up mainly soccer stadiums very, very rapidly, and so they're putting in the footings for the stands now. They're temporary seating, so that will come down in the off season. Okay, next. So this is kind of the plan there. We'll have, this is another opportunity. We're really trying to, the one piece of feedback we got from the neighborhood was, can we minimize the number of cars coming in? And so we're really, that's why the partnership with BART is really, really critical. We'll have along Peralta, and then obviously Mandela Parkway, and then at the intersection of Peralta and Mandela, there will be a bike caravan to safely bring people into the park. There's a bike valet, 18th Street. There's a bike valet there on the south side of the park. That's going to be run by East Bay Bike, eastbaybike.org, really? Yeah. Still looking for a sponsor for that, if anybody's interested. Okay, next. Yeah, this kind of just shows the bike lanes there. Next. And then a few other opportunities. We're going to have a Copa night where we'll do an alternative identity, Los Peloteros, and we're going to have our uniforms were designed by Dustin Canelin, who did the town jerseys for the Warriors and does trophy hunting. And anyway, this is an initial sketch. Looking for a sponsor for this as well, so we'll do alternative identity. We'll do this every year, Los Peloteros. Okay, next. And then we're working on a TV series. So this with Hearst Production Media Group. And this is still very much early stages, but looking for partners on this. We've been shooting, we probably have a few hundred hours of film so far, yeah, work in progress. But this is a great opportunity through the educational programming channels that the FCC mandates. And then next. Opening day, June 4th, it's coming right around the corner. The season actually starts May 21st. We start on the road. First home series is June 4th at Raimondi. We play the YOLO High Wheelers, and would love to see all of you there. I'm talking to Tom about getting similar to what the Roots are doing. I mean, we can do fundraisers, we can do whatever, but would love to see all of you there. It's going to be a great time, I'm telling you. Even if you don't like baseball, please come, because we are going to the 48 home games this season. We are going to celebrate Oakland 48 times this summer, and it's going to be a great time. So, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right. Give it up for Tim. Ballers are doing a hard thing. Like, having done this for the last couple of years with the Spiders, who are, we're the youngest team out here. We're the young guys on the block. It's really, really hard to get a team up and running. So, huge shout out. Before I start kind of talking about the Frisbee side of things, I also wanted to say a really big thank you to President Tom and to Shannon and to really the whole club. It's been a few months since I've been able to make a meeting, so it's been wonderful to see everybody, and I just really, really appreciate that the club meets you where you're at in life. And that message has really, really come through from top to bottom. So I'm super glad to be back with y'all for today, to talk a little bit about the Spiders, and to just get reconnected. So really, really nice to see everybody. Do I got some slides? Sweet. Before I jump into things, and I promise I'll keep it brief. I hope that we get some time for questions for Tim and I about sports in Oakland, Frisbee specifically, maybe baseball specifically. But show of hands if you've heard of Ultimate Frisbee before. Okay, show of hands if you've heard of the Oakland Spiders before. All right, we're getting there, we're getting there. So yeah, Spiders, we are similar to the Ballers, similar to the Roots. We really are trying to be focused on community here in Oakland. The team was founded in 2014 in San Jose. We played in the American Ultimate Disc League, which is now the Ultimate Frisbee Association. That's the name of our league currently. I started playing for the team in 2016. And was doing that up until COVID when we got canceled and had a change in ownership, at which point I was able to come on board kind of as a part-time general manager. And we're fortunate enough that the city of Oakland was the first place, Oakland Unified was the first place that was going to let us kind of resume play. So in 2021, I kind of brought the team here to play over at Oakland Tech on kind of a temporary, we weren't really sure what was going to happen basis. Had an amazing experience. Of course, Oakland was incredibly welcoming. The fans were behind us the whole way. And so I tried to work with our ownership group to officially relocate to Oakland in 2022. And we've been here ever since. As I said, we're a really, really young team. And for us, that means we want to try to focus on the next generation of athletes in Oakland. We want to get people excited about Frisbee. I started playing in college, totally fell in love with the sport. Actually learned it up at Skyline in PE classes with Coach Beam and Coach Salazar. And it was just an amazing sport because it taught you, obviously, the teamwork, but it was all self-officiated. We have this culture, this identity called spirit of the game, where at every other level except the professional level, players make their own calls. So if I think that somebody fouled me, I'll call foul, and then that player and I will talk it out, whether we think that it was a violation or whatnot. So we are trying to take that concept of spirit of the game and infuse it into our game day experience, into the programs that we're doing with Oakland kids. So we've been running after school classes, we've been running summer camps. Last year we had a brief partnership with Oakland Unified to do a middle school league, and we're able to bring some kids out to our games. So that's how I think we're going to kind of continue to try to grow our sport. Along with the spirit of the game side of things, it's just been a phenomenal sport because it's incredibly accessible. Similar to the Roots in soccer, like you only need a Frisbee to play. You don't need any special equipment. You don't need any special field setup. You can play it on a beach. You can play it on a field. You can play it indoors. And at some of the highest levels, it is also a mixed gender sport. So we have boys and girls playing at the same time. So again, for all these reasons, I'm just obviously super, super invested in it. And it's been a privilege to kind of work with the Spiders to try to bring that here to the town, right? So thank you for moving on to my next one there. We are currently playing our season right now. So we have a 12-game regular season that generally runs from late April through July, with playoffs in August. Last year, unfortunately, we just missed out on the playoffs. I'm hoping we can get there this year. We play over at Fremont High School in Oakland. For those who have been over, it's High Street and Foothill. They have a beautiful new field. It's the right size venue for us because we are young. We're a little bit smaller, but we had our home opener this last Saturday against the Los Angeles Aviators. We beat them 20-17. Conspires. Beat LA. And we had over 700 people come through the gates. So we are starting to grow, we are starting to get a little better. And so I wanted to come today just to share kind of where the team is at and why I think it's a great thing for Oakland. And really to ask if you are looking for something fun to do with your family, please come join us. We actually have our next game. Well, actually, let me get my next slide before. So stay tuned for when our next game is. But obviously, I talked a little bit about the culture of the sport. Just again, for those of you who are unfamiliar with it, it is a 7-on-7 team sport. We play it on an American football field. I was hoping, I don't think that link for highlights, I don't think that's going to work. But we have a bunch of highlights now on our YouTube channel and on Instagram and Facebook. But for those who haven't seen it, it's a 7-on-7 team sport on the field. Goal of the game is to score more points than the other team. You score a point by catching the disc in the other team's end zone, just like football. If you catch the disc in the field of play, you can't run with it. I keep saying disc because for the longest time we couldn't say frisbee. Now I can say frisbee. I'll tell that story some other time. If you catch the frisbee in the field of play, you can't run with it. You have to get a pivot foot, like in basketball, and then you have 7 seconds to throw it. If there's a turnover of any kind, play continues back and forth up and down the field until somebody scores a point. So lots of running, lots of athleticism, big plays left and right. You can kind of see that's our guy Walker catching one over LA last year in our home finale, which was incredible. So yeah, super family-friendly games. Kids 12 and under get in free for all of our games. At halftime, they get to come out on the field. They're catching passes from the players who are not rostered for that game. We've got our kids zone, similar to the ballers. We've got a couple food trucks, the DJ, the whole thing. So if that's what you're looking to do this summer, now we can go on to that next one. You've got an event for tomorrow night. Our next home game is actually tomorrow night over at Fremont. It's going to be at 6:30. We are playing the Seattle Cascades, who are supposed to be improved this year. It's also our educator night, so if those of you who are involved with academia or educators in any kind of way, they get in free with school ID. So we're really excited to try to celebrate the educators in our community. It's something that we do every year with our home games. And I'm particularly excited about tomorrow's game because there's a major youth tournament in Stockton this weekend. And one of the teams that's going to be participating in that tournament is the national team from Mexico, the Baja Sunset. So they are driving up from Tijuana tomorrow, and they're going to join us for the game. So we're going to have about 45 of their players and families. So we're expecting about 75 international players and families. So come check it out if you're around. Really appreciate it. Otherwise, that QR code that was on the slide with our next game will take you to our website. We're at Oakland Spiders for all the social medias. We're oaklandspiders.com for tickets. And the QR code that is mentioned, or excuse me, the 2024 Rotary 3 will get you a discount on any tickets for this season. So we've got games, we've got another 5 home games coming up this summer. So thank you. Does anybody got questions? I don't know if we got time.
You got a Frisbee right now?
I don't have a Frisbee right now. I did not bring one with me, but I can get you one.
Thank you, Jackson. Both of my sons would play with BADA, Bay Area Disc Association. Do you guys partner with them and the youth organization that works with students, kids to do Ultimate?
Yes, absolutely. So there are a handful of really phenomenal nonprofits that work with all kinds of different organizations, but Bay Area Disc Association is one of the biggest ones. We have partnered with them in the past. Our philosophy on the youth side of things, so the Spiders, we do have a nonprofit as well, the Community Web. I think of us as kind of like that first touch point for kids to just get involved with the sport and realize like, oh, this is professional, this is like a real thing, I can go do this. So what we're generally focusing on is top of funnel, K through 3rd grade, and then once they fall in love with it, once they see how much fun it is, we do try to say, hey, go check out BADA. Right? Another great organization, if you happen to hear about them, is Ultimate Impact. They started in San Francisco, have expanded to the East Bay, and are focused primarily on BIPOC communities and getting kids from underserved school districts involved in Ultimate, again, because of the accessibility side of things. So they've been a phenomenal partner for us. It is starting to get bigger. Berkeley High School has won state championships the last couple of years. The Cal Ursa Major men's team is just qualified for nationals. So I'm sure many of us have those hobbies, those interests that we get into, and then you find out it's this huge, giant world behind it. Frisbee is very much the same thing. So if you do happen to get involved with it, I bet you're going to find somebody or 2 or 3 people in your lives that you're like, oh yeah, I've done that, or I've played this before. So I can't say enough great things about it. Hey, Elson.
Thank you, Jackson. I've always wondered about the game because I've never actually seen it played yet. I want to go tomorrow night, though.
All right, we'll see you there. Yes, please check out the Oakland Spiders on YouTube. Like, that is definitely the visual that we need to show off the highlights.
Thank you. My question is, why the name Spider? It's kind of ew.
Yeah, so when we were founded in San Jose, my understanding is that it was related to a tech concept, spider bots or something like that. So I was, when we moved to Oakland, I was pushing to see how far we could push the brand. But I understood that there was some history behind that because they'd won a couple of championships in San Jose. So we wanted to respect that history as well.
Thank you both for being here. This is very exciting. I had a question for Tom. Tom, what does fan first, I'm sorry, no, Tom.
Tim or Tom?
Tim, so sorry. I know, you moved around. Talk about your fan first philosophy, how that would look to us, what we will see and experience.
Yeah, I mean, it's developing. So one thing with the Pioneer League, it's considered by Major League Baseball to be one of their innovation leagues. And so they're very loose with the rules. So you might see some different colored lacings on balls this season. We don't play extra innings in the Pioneer League. We have a home run derby knockout round. So there's things like that. And there's a bunch of other rules that are on the table. All it needs is a simple majority of ownership groups to approve, and then they get implemented. So yeah, it could be also, and then all of our sponsorship partnerships, we really kind of lean into creative activations there as well, and so working on some fun things there. Yes, and most of them will probably surprise me too, because we're we're moving at the speed of a startup right now. So yeah, but just kind of the collective brain trust we have in the front office, we're all either startup guys, or Brian, one of the founders, he comes from the film world, and so he's a writer, so that's just kind of how his brain works. But yeah.
So I had a question for Tim also, which is, are you partnering with North Oakland, South Oakland Little League, with Babe Ruth, with the youth baseball? So we have pretty active youth baseball in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we have, running our community on that side, we have James Harris, who's a first rounder out of high school, went to Fremont High School. So he's running all the Little League partnerships, and in fact, Coach Q's Babe Ruth team is going to be the Ballers. So we're working on making their jerseys right now, actually.
I'm sorry, I have another question.
Let's go Linda, and then Peter, and then Pat in the back.
All right. I have a question for each of you, if I may. For Jackson, when is Ultimate going to the Olympics? And for Tim, what is I love minor league baseball games because you're all singing together, you're cheap hot dogs, the kids get to run the bases. What does it look like when we go? What is for the fans? What is the participation level? What's it like?
You want me to go first?
Sure, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, it's all evolving, but everything you named is definitely on the docket. Definitely want to give field access as much as possible, and that's the great thing about minor league baseball is the accessibility. But I mean, you saw the renderings. I mean, it's only 4,000 seats spread out, so it's going to be a very intimate setting. And then we're working closely with Jorge and the Oakland 68s, and so they're going to be there with their drums, and Hal the hot dog guy is going to be around, and it's going to feel like a shrunken Coliseum on some nights. So, yeah.
So for Ultimate has been on the short list for the IOC in terms of a sport to be added to the Olympics. They were strongly considering it for 2028 in LA. Unfortunately, we did not make the list. And part of the fun of being involved with Spiders in sports is learning more about the industry itself. The Olympics are going to have a hard time adding more team sports in the coming years because of the added costs of having a team of players and coaches and staff compared to individual sports. So we're still on the list. We had World Games last year. The USA won again, although Germany upset us. So we'll see. We're fingers crossed.
Thanks to both you, Tim, and Jackson for being here today. This is interesting and very exciting. My question for you, Tim, is about Raimondi Field. And there have been a few iterations where the city has redone the field, and then it hasn't been maintained, and in very short order, it's gone into disrepair. So what is the arrangement you have for both during the season and after the season to keep Raimondi maintained?
Yeah, so basically we become kind of stewards of the park, and so we're paying for a maintenance crew year-round, but it will still be managed by Parks and Rec. So.
Okay, I have okay. Ed Jellin.
Yeah, one more question about Raimondi Field. According to the diagram you showed, there were big gaps in the seats between home and first, and another big gap between first and third. Those look like those would be prime seating areas. Why the gaps?
Yeah, so in year one, this is just temporary seating. So it's not even up yet. So we're going to put these in a month. And so that's just kind of the arrangement for year one. We got approved for the first year officially yesterday by the city council. Yeah, I mean, it was a foregone conclusion, but they did the second reading yesterday and it was officially approved. But with time, we'll hopefully build a more permanent, kind of think of it like a Wrigley Field kind of feel. Surrounded by built space, yeah.
All right, well, thank you. I have a question. Wait, I'm sorry. I have a question. Softball question, all right?
This is baseball, Tom.
As Rotarians, baseball, a hardball question. As Rotarians, we like to attend sporting events, but we also like to volunteer. How can we be helpful to both of your teams this season and in the future?
Yeah, let's just keep the dialogue going. I mean, there's so many ways to plug in. Like I said in the presentation, this is not just about baseball. This is about the community in Prescott, and so we're committed to, all the conversations around redoing the 16th Street Station, and the new food hall going in there, and the night market, West Oakland Farm. I mean, we're involved in all that stuff. So, yeah, sky's the limit.
Okay.
So let's just keep
volunteer
the dialogue.
Opportunities, though?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Jackson.
One, come to a game. I think you'll have an amazing time if you come to a game. Two, get some merchandise or tell your friends about the spiders that we exist. That's the best marketing we can have. Anytime I see somebody wearing a shirt or a hat out in the community, it's like, great, that's amazing. And then three, if you know anyone who may be interested in partnering with us because they're at a similar size in terms of their business or similar alignment in terms of their goals, we'd love to talk to them. Just info@oaklandspiders.com. And in terms of volunteering, we're always appreciative for help on game days. We are always willing to have extra hands help out and get involved. But really, it's sharing that it's out there and it's coming to check it out because you're going to enjoy it.
All right, thank you.
He's a much better marketer than me. I would say ushers and game day staff, you want to volunteer there. We're organizing that stuff right now, so it'd be great to see all of you there.
First pitch.
We have a lot, and we're going to even innovate on that. We might do some first hits, too. And I was just talking to Primetime, what's his name again?
Preston.
Preston, yeah. We might do some tee-offs, too, from
Tee-offs, all right. All right, let's give these guys a big round of applause. Okay. Uh-oh, I see a bell ringer. And by the way, a bell ringer is a generous $100 tax-deductible donation to our wonderful Oakland Rotary Endowment.
Thank you, President Tom. Thanks to both our speakers. I want to ring the bell for both of you, but especially for Jackson, because I've known him since he was a toddler, and I'm impressed with what you've been able to accomplish in the first year, even. Thanks.
All right, Allison. Okay, Jackson.
I'd like to ring the bell for the ballers.
All right. Jackson, ballers. All right.
I want to ring the bell for Jackson. I really appreciate all his efforts in keeping Oakland relevant. Thank you.
All right. Okay, and one thing I got to say is Catherine Coleman, I think we were at a game last year against the Aviators, is that right? Yep, and that was an incredible game. It was nail-biting, and what was great about Fremont High School was it was so intimate. We were maybe 5 rows back, but it felt like we had VIP seats. And the athleticism of these athletes is incredible. I mean, they could be playing pretty much any sport they want. And the pace of Ultimate is so fast. They can throw these discs, 60, 70 yards, no problem. And you see these kids just running, at top speed to get these catches. So it's really a fun sport, and I can't wait to attend a Ballers game with all of you. Just by a show of hands, who wants to attend a Ballers game? All right, that's pretty good. All right. And who wants to attend a Spiders game? All right. All right, and I'm going to push the envelope. Who might be interested in volunteering for the Ballers? Okay, and what about the Spiders? Okay, all right, all right. Well, we'll try to make something happen, and we'll work on that. Okay, so let's see. So as Jackson might know, but Tim, we will make a generous donation to the Friends of Joaquin Miller Park. My area of focus this year has been around youth and parks and open space, and so we are supporting this organization. They strive to make the park more beautiful, accessible to the public while reducing the risk of wildfires. So I want to thank you. We'll be making that donation on behalf of you, both of you. And next week in the ballroom, we will have two special guests. We will have Carrie Maltzby-Lute, who's the head of partnerships of Northeastern University, the former Mills College campus, and Christy Chung, who's the executive director of the Mills Institute. They're doing some exciting things, and Northeastern is really an international university. So Oakland, they have some big plans set up, and so we'll be getting an update. So please bust your tables. Are we doing the voting thing, Julie, with the meals? Are we doing voting on the meals? Oh. Okay, so blue is good? No, blue is bad. Blue is bad. All right. Okay. Thank you. And if you rang the bell today, if you could check in with Julie or Jesse and get that paid, we would greatly appreciate that. And please bust your own tables. Thank you, everyone who is here in person. Thank you to our friends online. Thank you. And remember, Oakland Rotary is here for you. This meeting is adjourned. Thank you.